Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comic Book Wednesday for September 25th, 2013, or as I like to call it, the end of freaking Villains Month. Why? Because I hate Villains Month. I don't. Okay, I don't hate it because of what the idea is. I hate it because DC's freaking stupid. That's all I hate it for. I go into it a little bit. So, I only picked up a couple of books today from DC. All of them for DC, none for Marvel. Unfortunately, Marvel didn't really have anything good. I'm done with Nova because the last couple of issues of Nova have not been really good. So, I think I'm gonna be done with that series unless Jeff Loeb comes back to the series, which he better because Zeb Wells, he's okay, but he also could be really bad. And the last couple of issues have been not that good. So, with that being said, I also did check out a couple of other villain books this week. From last week, let me just pull out the little chart here. From last week's issues that I didn't get a chance to read, that I probably forgot about. I think the only one that I read was probably Dial E, and I'm surprised because that book is basically a bunch of villains that you don't know, and they just put them into one book and one story, like one page of story. That's it. That's really cool. I have to admit, I really did enjoy the book. That's something I'd be interested in. A lot of cool artists were working on it. Yeah, but this week I read a couple books, and you won't be surprised when I tell you what book I didn't read. I read Metallo. Metallo was okay. I read Ocean Master, which was okay. I read The Secret Society, which I have to admit is a pretty kind of cool story on what happens. I read Black Adam's story, which is pretty cool. It's kind of see what happens to Black Adam next. And I read Parasite. Now, the ones I didn't read, I did not read. The ones that I wanted to read. I wanted to read Killer Croc, Sinestro, and the Joker's Daughter. Yeah, those were the ones that I really wanted to read. And all three of them did not get to my store. I'm not even kidding. They ordered about, I'm going to say 200 or 150 or so. And DC's smart ideas, oh, gonna work at this, we're gonna fuck up everyone's orders. So they didn't get Killer Croc. They got a couple issues of Sinestro. Well, okay, they got the 2D print of Killer Croc, but they ran out of those because they only had like 20 of those. They got like 20 of the Sinestro 3D covers and then like 30 of regular covers, but those sold out quickly. And they got no Joker's Daughter whatsoever. Like, they didn't get a single issue. DC, what the hell are you doing? Like, seriously. What are you doing? I even asked them, I'm like, did you guys just sell out? Because they open at 11. I get there at like 11:30 because I have school between that time and I have to drive over. So I get over there. I'm like, you guys sold out in the first half hour. Dang, that's pretty cool. And they're like, no, we didn't get any. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty bad. So that really sucks. So I was really interested in reading that one. I possibly was going to pick it up, but no, I can't because DC is pretty freaking stupid. So, with that being said, let's look at what I did pick up because I'm really happy with what I get, probably. Because first of all, we get Injustice Gods Among Us number 9. If you have not watched the Comic Book Wednesdays before, then you've never heard me say how much I love this freaking thing. Yeah, I love this series. This is probably one of the best ongoing series that DC has right now. And for good reason. It actually works good as a comic. And the characters are invested. It brings in ideas that are happening outside of the comic into real life, which is very cool. Yeah, I can't wait to read the rest of it. Well, I can't wait to read it because I haven't read it yet. So, yeah, definitely, I'm looking totally forward to this. It's going to be great. And now let's go into the 3D covers. First, we have Doomsday. I told you, I'm picking up 2 3D covers this week. Doomsday. Ooh, this is probably my favorite cover out of all the 3D covers. Just together, all in general, this is probably the best cover. I'm kind of interested to see what they're gonna do with it. I don't know if they're just gonna do a retelling of the death of Superman, which will be kind of lame, but I'm really hoping that they do something really cool. And yeah, I can't wait for Batman and Superman to come back. It's such a great series. Finally, we have Bane. Yeah. I don't know much what to say about it except Bane. Really, that's kind of cool. Bane, we're gonna get Bane. Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to reading this one because I don't know. It seems like it's gonna be good. It's gonna especially lead up to Forever Evil Arkham War, but that seems like it'll be interesting. So let's just hope that it's good, because I'm hoping it's good. But with that being said, let's get in and talk about these comics. I'm going to read them. I'll be back in like 5 seconds. That's how quickly I read these things. And I'll talk to you about it. Okay, guys, we are back. And so let's talk about these comics. I'm very happy with the bunch this week. Nothing really sucked this week. There was I have to admit, one was great, one was good, and one was okay. There's nothing bad this week. I'm very happy with the money I spent. Apologies, moving the camera a little bit. But yeah, I'm very happy with what we got this week, and yeah, I can't wait to talk about them. So let's start off with the one that's probably the weakest well, not the weakest. Probably the one that probably the least people were probably expecting on getting. Injustice numero 9. How many times have I told you guys that I love this series? I don't think I've said it enough, and this issue proves it. This issue, yeah, I really enjoyed this issue. It's probably one of my more favorite issues of the whole series right now. I'm really glad that they're continuing the series. And especially since next month they're doing an annual with Lobo. I mean, come on. You got to see different characters all interact. Characters you wouldn't expect to be in the series. Interaction with Alfred for the first time around. You get to see Alfred in the Injustice universe. What he's like. You get to see all the Batman League together. What is with Hawkgirl? What happened to her? Because you know what happened when Batman sent her up with Superman. Something happened. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to see what happens with that. And what about Lex Luthor? How does he feel about this whole situation kind of going around? He has a good discussion with the Kents. Yeah, his parents. And while he makes this super soldier type of pill that basically Superman wants to make an army, and so Lex is trying to help him, but at the same time Lex doesn't want to help him, and then he explains why to the Kents, and the Kents are saying that, well, you know what, read it, because it's actually kind of shocking, and Superman and Flash have a very good discussion on what they want to do, what they think they should do about the violence that goes on. So definitely, it is a great issue. I definitely would recommend picking it up, definitely. But after that, Doomsday. So this issue takes place on Krypton before it explodes, basically. Yeah. Doomsday is attacking Krypton and is destroying everything. And holy crap, is it the artwork? The artwork's okay. It's by Brett Booth, who I really do not like as an artist. His art styles are kind of iffy. I mean, usually he likes the color red, and yeah, you can see it in there. But Doomsday, this design looks great, definitely. And you get to see how Doomsday gets taken down from Krypton by General Zod. General Zod takes down Doomsday, and a young Kara-El. Let that sink in. Young Kara-El and her father have a discussion about the creature that attacked. And I was kind of right about it. It's kind of a rehash of the death of Superman, but at the same time it's not. Because they go in a different direction this time around with things. Because it hasn't happened yet, technically. But there is a myth. There's a folk tale, or Kryptonian tale, that Kara gets told by her father about the creature of Doomsday. And the ending is really shocking. I have to tell you that the ending is like, what? What the heck happened there? So I definitely like the writing this time around, but I didn't like the artwork that much. Again, it's Brett Booth's fault, really. He needed some help. He usually needs help on his book. Um, yeah, definitely he needs help. You can clearly see that when he draws Teen Titans and like other books, definitely. But yeah, does need some help with his artwork. But overall, the issue is actually pretty good, I have to admit. Finally, Bane. Oh yes, Bane. Kind of interesting that the design on the cover is nothing like the design in the book. They did a lot of things to that, to a lot of characters, but that's fine. But Bane was an okay issue, I have to admit. I was kind of like, not lackluster, but I was just kind of like, on it. Like, Bane doesn't really do much in the book. He fights a couple people, then he takes a ship, and then he gets the prisons open. Sure, that may seem a lot, but he was barely there for any of it. More of his minions. Basically, how he's talking about how Batman's gone because of the secret society. Don't let me get into that. If you want to see my rants on the freaking Trinity War, Forever Evil thing, just watch the last couple of episodes if you haven't seen them. But yeah, Bane now knows that Batman's dead and Gotham is his for the taking. Basically, he's going in for it. Which kind of makes him kind of the hero in a way, because he's trying to fight every other villain. At the same time, he wants to own the city. He thinks that is his city to take over. And he doesn't want any other villain in his path. Which is pretty interesting that that's what they want from it. But cool, like, kind of, that's a cool thing, though, at the same time, that Bane is basically trying to be a hero. At the same time, he isn't. The people on the ship say they're his hero, definitely. This little girl at the beginning says that he's her hero. It's weird, because Bane doesn't really consider himself a hero. He just considers himself, Bane, the ruler of Gotham. He needs it. So he's going in and he's basically shutting down everything and trying to take over Gotham, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it was just okay. I didn't really find anything really interesting about it, except for the fact that, well, they're kind of pushing Bane to be a little bit more of a hero this time around, but you're not going to be seeing any Bane books in the last, I don't know. But the only thing close to it is Forever Evil Arkham War, and that's only a 4-issue miniseries. So that's not going to last long, so Bane being a hero is... same with the rest of the Forever Evil miniseries. They're all going to be 4 or 5 issues, and they're not going to be long. Because Forever Evil is only 7 issues, because, hey, they got to spread out their huge event. And then there's still 0 year going on, which... that's going to be so frustrating to follow. Anyway... What was the top 3? Now, you can probably guess it right now. So I'm going to let you guess, give you a few seconds. You can go back, check what I just said. It's only 4 minutes of talking. Okay, you ready? Okay. Number 3 is Bane. It's okay. I could recommend picking up. This is, however, the weakest of all the villains books I've read so far. Well, read in general. Well, the ones that I picked up, not the ones that I picked up didn't get at the store, because the ones at the store, there have been some weak ones. There have definitely been some, no, I don't like that. That is pretty bad. Or there's some ones that are at the store that I've liked a lot better, definitely. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. After that, Doomsday. Doomsday is definitely one of the better villain books, writing-wise. The artwork, though, is not that good. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm just saying it's not good, in my opinion. That's just me, though. Finally, Injustice. Probably DC's ongoing series that needs to last, even though it's digital first, unfortunately. So, they're on issue 37 or something on the digital first one this time is coming around. So maybe if you want to get in, if you haven't gotten in yet, check out the digital ones. I think they're a little bit cheaper because they are digital. Or they might be 4, I have no idea. Plus, they come out faster because they come out earlier. I think they come out like either every week or they come out like every other week because they're like that. And yeah, so these are only in a monthly form, and yeah, and apparently they're still not even on the story yet from the video game. They're still doing stuff before it. Dang, they have a lot of stuff to write about. Tom Taylor, you're doing an excellent job on it, though. So, congrats to him for doing it and having this awesome team behind him. So, what's coming up next week? Next week, unfortunately, is a very bland week of comics. There is nothing really coming out. In fact, there's only one book that I'm really interested in getting, and it's the start of a mini-series from Marvel. Yeah, unfortunately, at that point, we don't really have anything going on anymore. Really, we've been asking for this for a while. Everything to calm down, and really, now is next week's the time. Sure, Forever Evil #2 is coming out, but I didn't like Forever Evil issue #1, and all this other stuff that I don't care about. So, what is coming out? Well, I am getting Captain America: The Living Legend from Marvel, the new miniseries, 4 issues. It's spread across the next, I believe it's this month and next month. I don't know officially. I know there's one next week, and then there's one at the end of the month. I'm not sure about November and December, if that's the case, if it's going on until December. I'll have to check my list. But I'm probably thinking, since that's the only book I'm going to get, probably going to get a variant for it. There are a couple variants for it. So I'll think about getting that, and yeah, because I don't want to spend just $4 on it. I might as well put a little bit extra if the prices are reasonable. Only if the prices are reasonable, because that ain't fair if I just get the regular cover for $4, or if it just gets screwed over and pay $30 for a regular cover, which not really my style. Only on the certain cases when they're the only issues left, possibly. But I don't think that's going to sell out that quickly. I don't think many people are interested in it. I'm interested in it because Captain America is one of my favorite heroes of all time. Even though I don't work on a series right now because I didn't like where the series was going at the beginning. I picked up till issue 4 or 5, and it was okay. While he's on this planet, it's taken months and years to get off, which is too long. So I stopped it there, but. Yeah, that's pretty much it for next week, which I'm sorry if I'm missing out on something, but, that's what I want to get. But, yeah, so, what did you think? So, actually, you know what? Now, before I ask you a question, I'm going to tell you what I finally thought of Villains Month now that it is officially over. Alright, Villains Month. I've been bashing it all month. Has it really been as bad as I said? Absolutely not. It's not horrible. It's not the worst decision DC could possibly make. However, the choices making the Villains Month, though, were pretty stupid. I have to admit, on DC's part. Having this huge Trinity War lead up to this whole case with the Secret Society and how the Earth 3, I don't remember their team name, I think it's just Secret Society, comes in and kills off all the heroes. I think that's just ludicrous all in general. I would have liked something better. Because I like the fact that they're really celebrating the villains, in this whole next couple of months. They're celebrating the villains. They're getting their own little documentary about the villains of the DC universe, how it's affected society in general. Why didn't you just make a Villains Month in general? You could have just made a flat-out, here's our Villains Month. We're going to be celebrating the villains because we can, and we appreciate the villains for who they are. And that's what would have been great in Lynn. But no, you have to connect the story, which is so bullshit. And Forever Evil, I don't care where it's going to go. It's probably going to be bad. It's unfortunate that after this next issue, actually not the next 2 issues of Nightwing, I have to get stuck reading the Forever Evil parts of Nightwing because, yeah, they kind of screwed him over. Again, they screwed Nightwing over, they revealed his identity to the freaking world. I'm sorry if I spoiled that for you, but I don't freaking care. They ruined, I don't know if they ruined Nightwing, but they screwed him over. They screwed Dick Grayson as a character over, which is very disappointing because I really love Nightwing. He's again absolutely he's my favorite hero of all time. So yeah, he got screwed over in my opinion. I mean, why couldn't they get somebody else, like a lesser hero that no one cares about? Nightwing is one of the major heroes that a lot of younger people my age really do care about, and kind of seeing that screwed over, it really upsets me. I don't know if that affects everyone else that read the book, but it did it for me. I did not like it for that point. And there's a lot of things I don't like. I already knew from the start it's gonna be one of those villain versus villain because they need to get the heroes back because the secret society is evil. They're already doing that. Lex Luthor's making a freaking renegade team against it because he's the only person that should kill Superman. No one else. This is so freaking ludicrous. It's just so frustrating to deal with because if you guess it already, you already know how it's going to go. We already know Batman's alive. How many of the other members of the Justice League are alive? I know Constantine's alive. There's probably several other members that are alive, and they're not telling us because they don't want to tell us. And oh my gosh. This is why I'm only focusing on Zero Year. I'm especially focusing on it in November. Because I already announced to you guys that I am getting the tie-ins all November. Just because I can. Sorry. That really itches. Yeah, but November is Zero month. I like to call that. And I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to pick up all those books. And definitely, it's a better event than all this Forever Evil crap. Yeah, I don't care for Forever Evil anymore, really. So, unfortunately, I'll probably read it in the store just so I know what's going on and I can tell you guys about it, how I feel about it. But don't expect me to pick it up and really talk about it in the Comic Book Wednesdays. Yeah, because I don't care. I honestly don't care. However, Zero Year, yeah, that's something I really do care about. I'm really happy to say that can't wait to pick up the $7 issue of it that comes out in 2 weeks. So there's that. Get ready for that. Yeah, 2 weeks from now we're gonna get a lot of books. I'll tell you that for sure. But that's 2 weeks from now, and we're only worried about next week. So really, my question to you is, what did you guys think of Zero? I keep saying Zero month, Villains month. What was your fully idea of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you get the same ideas that I did, that it was really kind of pointless, but they could have done something cooler with it rather than just had this tie-in to it? Do you think that they should have had some books going on during this time? Do you think, like, some of these books didn't even have villain books, like Nightwing? Nightwing didn't have any villains books because none of his villains really matter. The only villain that matters is Tony Zuko, and he's already dealing with him right now in his own series. So, do you think that they should have had a Nightwing book come out this month? Do you think Batgirl should have had a book? Batwing? A lot of these characters could have had a lot of books definitely come out. Yeah, but it frustrates me. I know that they do have the regular books that aren't it, like Injustice, Adventures of Superman. They started Batman Black and White this month. Yeah, but seriously, even Red Hood and the Outlaws, which is a horrible, horrible series right now, they could have started that. I mean, the only reason why it's around is because it's related to Batman, and they got that still going on. But seriously, they could have done something with the other books. I mean, I feel unfair for Nightwing because he should have been in the book more. Even though in Forever Evil they screwed him over, I wish they would have shown more of him. But that's just me, and I think I'm going a little bit too long about my hatred for this Villains Month. So, with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Again, tell me what you thought of Villains Month, because I know I want to hear a lot of people's opinions on it. I've heard different opinions so far about it. I heard a lot of positive and negative. A lot of people are actually more negative than me, believe it or not. So, yeah, with that being said, this is Sonic Fable, and I will check you out next week.